A message to the divine healers. Part 2. A divine healer needs a divine protector. Coincidentally enough, I actually recorded this part 2 message back on Christmas Eve, right? And I had it ready to release Christmas Eve night, but something told me to hold off, right? Something told me to just wait and give it a little bit of time. I kept, if you've heard that song, first of all, the original song is by Junior, right? And it's called Mama Used to Say. But I was watching Abbott Elementary, the season 3, the Mother's Day episode, right? Where they go to the the drag brunch, and that guy he's on stage and he's singing like, "Take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get old." And something told me, like, do not rush to go ahead and release that message. Just give it a little bit of time, because for some people, for some divine feminines, especially if you're someone where someone from your past already came back, there was going to be some sort of communication that came in between Christmas and up to New Year's. Like, so for some of you, maybe that communication hasn't come in yet. For others, that communication came in back on Christmas Day, right? And something about that communication that came in was going to be significant. There was something that was said or that was going to be said that was going to be of significance, right? So for this message, a divine healer needs a divine protector. This is specifically for those of you who either have 2 people from your past who have come back, or if you have someone from your past who has come back, but you keep getting this energy, or you keep getting this feeling that like spirit is going to send you someone new, and you're trying to decide if you should hold out for the someone new, or if you should give this person from your past a second chance. Primarily if this person has come back and has shown changes and signs of maturity. This is for someone who, this person from your past, you guys have been no contact for years. This is not someone where you guys broke up a couple of days, weeks, months ago. This is for someone who you guys have been in no contact for years, and this person has come back around, and now you're trying to decide if this is worth giving it another shot, right? Spirit is telling, or I'm getting the feeling, I'm getting like the notion that like Spirit is saying, go with whoever makes you feel safe, right? Go with whoever. A divine healer needs a divine protector. If you are someone who, and especially like I get this all the time, we're like complete strangers. Like if you're someone who like literally you can be eating lunch by yourself. Let's say you're at work and you take a lunch break, and like I know for me, I don't take my breaks in the lunchroom. When I on night shift, you know, I had to take my breaks in the break room. I was not getting ready to go outside or anything late at night, right? But like on day shift or whatever, I take my breaks outside. I like to get away from my work area, away from my department, and I just like to go somewhere and just sit down and breathe and relax, and I like to be on my own, right? And I always get where strangers, like complete strangers, will be like, "Oh, you mind if I sit with you?" or "You mind if I sit here?" And then literally it'll turn into like a whole conversation, right? If you are someone where people naturally flock to you, right? And people naturally, whether it be friends, family, or literally complete strangers, where people naturally gravitate to you and start opening up to you about really, really personal things that are going on into their life, that type of thing can be heavy. It can be heavy. And especially if you're someone, and I'm getting like, if you are an empath and you are a divine healer, taking spiritual baths and spiritually cleansing yourself is going to be so important for you, so that you can learn how to differentiate between the feelings of those around you and your own person, especially if you're someone who you feel like you are tired and drained all the time. If you are someone, because a lot of people be like, "Oh, if you sleep too much, it's like a sign of depression." Not necessarily, right? If you are someone and you always find yourself tired and completely drained, it is because you are absorbing the energies of everyone around you, and you need to cleanse those energies from yourself so that you can differentiate between how you're feeling and how other people are feeling. And for some of you, this may even be significant to this person from your past, right? You might even need to do a spiritual cleansing from this person from your past, because this person who's trying to come back, all of those feelings and emotions that you're getting, it may even be you absorbing their feelings and emotions, right? But anyways, for someone who is a divine healer, a divine empath, you need someone who's a divine protector. You need someone who's a divine warrior. You kind of, and I don't condone anyone being nasty and rude towards others, right? But you need that type of divine masculine energy, right? Divine masculine energy, right? Where they are like, "No, leave my person." Like the type of person who literally will answer your phone for you, not in like a disrespectful way, but will like answer your phone for you and say, "No, this person is tired. They need to relax. They have a lot going on. You're not going to bother this person at this time." Like you need that sort of energy. And I'm getting like, if you had someone from your past who had that type of energy, you probably loved it. You probably loved it. The type of person who literally will be like, "No, leave this person alone. They are not doing this right now." You know, they will call you back when they feel like it or when they get a chance, but leave this person alone. If you've ever dated someone with that sort of energy and you are an empath, it is, I mean, you really feel like you can just let down your guard and relax around this person, right? But I'm getting like, whoever this new person is that's coming in is going to have that sort of energy. But also I'm getting, if the person from your past that's returning has that kind of energy, then that person from your past may actually be your person. But then at the same time, I kind of shudder to say that, right? Whatever communication is coming in, from this person from your past that has returned, right? Whatever communication is coming in, I'm getting, listen to what they're saying, but also be mindful of their actions. Make sure that what they're saying is matching up to what they're actually doing, right? But ultimately, I'm getting, for the divine feminines, right? Go with whatever divine masculine makes you feel safe, right? Go with whatever one makes you feel safe and protected, whichever one makes you feel heard, right? I'm getting like heavy, like, and even though they're saying take your time, young man, right? I'm getting, do not rush to make a decision, especially if you're someone who you are kind of like in your head and you're stuck and you don't know which decision to make. I'm getting like, take your time. Take your time. Like, you do not have to rush. This is not a decision that you have to make today, tomorrow, or the next day. Take your time, because really I'm getting what's done in dark will come to light. So if this person from your past hasn't changed, if this person from your past is not the one, all of that is going to be revealed in due time anyways, right? And especially if this person from your past is making comments or making moves or making gestures towards you, but at the same time, like, they're entertaining someone else, because I'm getting like split. I'm getting like, for divine feminine, take your time, like, don't rush. But also, like, on the other end, for the divine masculine, for the unhealed divine masculine specifically, I'm getting that this person is not taking their time, but this person is going to rush, and for some of them, they're going to rush and make the wrong decision anyways, and that's going to tell you what you want to know. I'm getting like, for some of y'all, this lesson is going to come with a little bit of heartache, right? Because for some of y'all, if you're dealing with someone from your past who has returned, but they are also entertaining someone else, and you're trying to decide, you know, if this person is your person, is your divine counterpart, that person may end up choosing whoever else they're entertaining. And if they do, I'm not saying that like it's the wrong choice, because, you know, we have free will. You are free to choose. If they feel like the other person is the best choice for them, then it is what it is, right? But I'm getting like, that person is not you. And that person most definitely is not a divine feminine, right? And I'm getting, even if they do choose that other person, they're going to come back around later, because they're going to realize that they chose wrong. And the only thing is, like, by the time they come back around, it's going to be too late anyways, because that new person is going to have come into your life, and you will know without a shadow of a doubt at that point that the new person is the person for you. So for some of you, I'm getting that, like, spirit is going to show you, but it's going to be through like heartache and heartbreak, right? They're going to show you that the person from your past is not the one for you, that the person from your past is just another lesson for you to get through, because they're going to do it in a way where they're going to have this person, or this person is going to choose someone else, right? But nonetheless, if that does happen, then that's just confirmation that you were meant to wait on this new person coming in, and this new person coming in, I'm getting, is going to be so much better anyways, right? I'm getting, like, for some reason, what is that, like that money mantra, every dollar that I spend, let it come back times 10. I'm getting that this person is going to be like times 10, right? But this is especially true if you are someone who, and this, I don't know why I'm getting like this energy that this person from your past is kind of scared of you. And not scared as in like they're physically afraid that you'll harm them, but this person is kind of scared of you specifically. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm gonna take a sip real quick. I have some ginger ale. It's not soda, but I mean, I guess technically ginger ale is soda, but I just have not been like feeling my best. My stomach has been like cramping really bad, so I got the wrong brand. I prefer Canada Dry. This is Seagram's, and Seagram's has way more of a ginger taste, which is probably better for you since it is ginger ale. But the ginger taste in Seagram's is way too strong. Ginger has so many benefits, right? So many benefits, but the taste is so strong. It is an acquired taste, because ginger is so strong, right? It's like cinnamon. It's very, very, very strong, right? A little bit goes a long way. But anyways, I'm getting like this person from your past, like you scare this person, especially if you are like a divine feminine that is living in your truth, right? If you are a divine feminine and you are a seer, you have the gift of foresight, you have the gift of dreams, you have strong intuition, right? If you were someone and you've told this person, like, let's say you guys are just in regular conversation and you've told this person things that has happened to them or things that are going to happen to them, and those things have come true, like you told this person things about themselves that there's no way you would have known that, right? Like, I'm getting, there is no way you would have known that. Like, this person, especially if you're dealing with, because these signs came out when I originally did the original reading, the signs that came out were Aquarius, Capricorn, and Scorpio, right? The type of signs who really, really, like, you really have to be in their inner circle. You really have to be like that person for them to open. These are the type of people where you can know them, but the surface level that you know them is not the real them underneath. Like, they're Capricorn, Aquarius, and Scorpio, there are layers to it, right? There are layers to these people, right? So no matter how much you know about this person, you don't know the real them, right? There are definitely layers to these signs. So I'm getting like this is the type of person who is very, 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 not necessarily secretive, but definitely someone who keeps their business to themselves. So there's literally like no way that you would have known these things, right? There's no way at all possible that you would have known these things about this person, but somehow you did. Somehow you did. And something or some things that you were saying to this person that you had discovered, you had figured out, you had like intuitively just kind of, I don't want to say guess, because if it's intuitive, then like, you know, but I'm just gonna say like you intuitively, I'm just gonna quote unquote guessed, right? This person is kind of afraid of that. They're afraid of that because they know that there's nothing that they can hide from you, right? They know that they can't hide anything from you. And not necessarily that they're trying to. Well, maybe for some of them they are. And if they are, then you know that's not your person anyways. But this is the type of person who is very private. And there are certain things that they're not ready for you to know until they're ready for you to know. And if you are an extremely intuitive person and you're getting insight on this person's personal life, on things that they are not ready for you to know, this scares this person, it intimidates them, and it's going to make them, or it may be the cause of them choosing someone else. So it might not necessarily be that they don't want you. It's just that they're intimidated and they're afraid of you, right? But like, here's the thing with that. Whether they choose you or not, if you're a naturally intuitive person, right? Especially if you're spiritual, but if you are a naturally intuitive person, even if they don't choose you, you're still going to get insight and you're still going to know things because it's who you are innately, right? So they can choose someone else all that they want, right? And if you guys decide to be friends, if you guys are mature enough and you decide that all we can be is friends, even if you guys are just friends, or even if you decide not to be friends and go your separate way, intuitively, you're still going to know personal things about this person that they may not want you to know because it's who you are. You are a divine feminine, right? You are an empath, right? So I'm getting like, don't let it hurt you too much. Like, especially if this is someone from your past who like, you really wish things would have worked. You really wish things would have been different. And you're feeling like now that this person has come back, this is like your second chance to get it right. For some, it may be. For others, it's just spirit bringing this test back around to see if you've learned your lesson and to see if you finally discovered your worth, right? Your true worth, right? But it's okay. Like, if this person chooses someone else, I'm getting like, it's okay. Do not get in a slump. Do not get upset. Do not go ahead and cry, because crying is a release. But also be careful about crying, because I did post that video, or I reposted a short by Idris Botanica, where especially if you are a divine being, right? When you cry, tears are offerings, right? Especially when those tears hit the ground, especially if you're crying outside. I don't know who would be sitting outside crying, but if you, and I shudder to say this because I feel like if I say this, someone's going to intentionally do it, right? But if you are outside and you're crying and your tears literally hit the ground, it is going to awaken your ancestors, your spirit guides. It's going to awaken Gaia. And this person, I'm getting like, you might unintentionally send some negative energy this person's way, right? Because your tears are an offering, they're a libation, right? So you might unintentionally, or for some, maybe it is intentional, I don't know, right? You might unintentionally send some karmic, some karma this person's way because of the tears that you shed. So, but at the same time, I'm getting like, if you need to cry, go ahead, because crying is also a release. It's a release, right? If you need to cry, go ahead and get it out. Matter of fact, do it in the shower. Do it in the shower. And while you're at it, do a spiritual cleanse. Go ahead and get in the shower, cry, release, and do a spiritual cleanse to release all of that energy from you. But whatever you do, like, don't carry that energy going forward, right? Do not carry that energy going forward. And before, this is why I should have done a short. I need to start doing like more shorts, because before I kept getting this vision of like this woman going to the movies, in line to buy a ticket, in line to buy snacks, and like, I don't know why I kept seeing like this large movie theater drink. Like I'm that type of person where I go to the movie theaters and I'm like, my eyes are bigger than my stomach, right? So I always get a large movie theater drink, even though I know I'm never going to finish it. I'm never going to finish it. I buy it and I sip, because I'm always in my mind, I'm thinking we're going to be here for an hour and a half, 2 hours plus. I want a big drink so that I have something to drink while I'm watching the movie. Especially if you're eating that dry ass popcorn. Excuse my language, because I'm trying not to cuss. Especially if you're eating that dry popcorn. I don't get what the big fuss is about movie theater popcorn. It is disgusting to me. But for whatever reason, like, people love it, right? Or if you're eating like one of those dry, salty pretzels, you're going to need something to wash that down with, right? So I always get the big cup, even though I never finish it. I always get that because I'm always like, oh, I want a lot to drink, right? But anyways, I kept seeing this vision of like this woman going to the movies, buying her tickets, going to the movies alone, right? Going to the movies alone, buying her ticket, getting in line, buying a drink, and there's like this man that's watching her, but not in a creepy way. But then at the same time, like, women, please be careful of your surroundings, because people are crazy nowadays, right? People have always been crazy, but it seems like it's gotten worse over the years, right? So definitely be mindful of your surroundings. But I'm getting like, there's a man who's watching you, but not in a creepy way, right? He's watching you in line, order your ticket, right? And he gets a ticket to the same movie as you, right? He watches you in line, get your snacks, right? And he's behind you. And he waits until you go into the theater and you sit down, and he asks you if he can join you. And for some, I was getting like this person while you were in line, because they waited until you got your ticket to make sure you only got one, to make sure you were by yourself. And for some, I was seeing a vision of this person like standing behind you in line when you're about to order your snacks, and they're like sparking a conversation with you then, right? Just to kind of get a feel if you're going to be open and friendly, or if you're going to be kind of like closed off, leave me alone type energy, right? And when they spark a conversation, this divine feminine, she's smiling, she's engaging, like everything is cool. So you go into the movies, you sit down, and this person literally comes to say, hey, do you mind if I sit next to you? And I'm getting like, this is literally how you end up meeting your person. I kept seeing this vision over and over and over again. And for someone, like, you're going to one day randomly decide to go catch a movie by yourself in the middle of the day, you know, some random, because even in the vision, it's like middle of the day, sun high in the sky, right? I'm getting like matinee, right? And you go to the movie, because I'm getting like, and when the divine feminine went to choose her seat, and when the divine masculine came and sat next to her, the theater was practically empty, right? I mean, practically empty. So I'm getting this with someone who maybe you have a day off of work, you decide to go catch a movie, and just so happened like this person had the same thing going on, right? But for someone, I'm getting literally, you're going to meet your person doing something. What is it? I was gonna say like spare of the rim, but that's not how the saying goes. Anyways, on a whim, you're gonna end up doing something on a whim where you go to the movies or you do something, and like that's gonna be where you meet your person. It's gonna be like the most random or unlikely place. It's going to be where you end up randomly like meeting your divine person, right? And then once this new person comes in, I'm getting like, once this new person comes in, you're going to understand why it never worked with anyone else. Because this person is going to come in with the energy that is so kind, so caring, so loving. And especially for my divine feminines, this person is going to come in with an energy that's so protective. That is so protective that you are finally going to understand why it never worked with anyone else, right? Especially if you're the type where you're starting to feel like maybe the problem is you. You're going to realize why it never worked with anyone else once you meet this person that you're destined to be with, right? So I'm getting like, don't fret. But for those who literally, there is someone from your past that has come back and you really, really, really deeply care and deeply love this person, and you really, really, really want to see where things with this person have the potential to go, I'm getting like, don't rush. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time, young man, right? Don't rush to get old, right? Do not rush to grow old with this person, because this person may not be the person for you. And for others, this person, because this is like one of those things where you really have to use your own discernment, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. For some of you, especially if this is like a twin flame kind of situation, you guys tried to come together, things didn't work, you went your separate ways, and you both individually had to go through your own journeys so that you both could learn and so that you both could grow, so that you could come back and come into this divine union, right? So for some, this person from your past coming back is your divine counterpart, but you really have to know like which scenario is yours and which scenario is not, right? And for some, I'm getting like, it's difficult because there are certain things that there are like certain similarities or certain things that, because like let's say for example, one of my exes that came back, right? We hadn't spoken in years, like literally we hadn't spoken in over 7 years, right? And this person came back and we were talking, and I had a friend a few years ago who got me into water fasting, right? Water fasting. This is not something that everybody does. A lot of people are like, oh no, don't do that, it's dangerous. Okay, you are free to feel however you feel, but water fasting has a lot of benefits. You water fast for 72 hours, it will allow your cells to like reset, regenerate, all of that good stuff, right? So I had a friend and I that we used to water fast together, right? And I had this ex that came back that I hadn't spoken to for years, and we started getting on the whole topic of like eat right for your blood type, if you've ever heard of that. Depending upon what blood type, it's like a study that was done, I want to say in like Japan, like 50 plus however many years ago, probably more than that, but it was done like some time ago, right? Where it's like, depending upon what your blood type is, there are certain foods that you should and should not eat, right? And we were talking about that, and somehow we ended up getting from eat right to your blood type to intermittent fasting, and we started talking about water fasting. And this person was like, yeah, they got into water fasting a couple of years ago, where like on the weekends they do a water fast, like over the weekends, where they can kind of just sit at home, relax, they don't have to do a whole lot of activity, they're not like on their feet at work and stuff. They like to take the weekends to do like a water fast to kind of like reset, right? And I thought that was so interesting, because I was like, wow, like I do not know a lot of people who do that. So I thought that was really, 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 really interesting. The fact that like we have gone so long without talking, and then we come back all these years later, and we have both grown and matured so much. And there are a lot of things that we've actually both been working on and both been doing that are the same, even though we've been apart all this time. So I really thought that was interesting, right? But even with that being the case, that does not mean that this person is the person for me, right? It just means that, because like I know for some, they're like, especially if you have a divine counterpart, when you start healing and when you start doing things to heal and better yourself, if you have a true divine counterpart, a true twin flame, as you're healing, you're also going to spark healing in that person. So it may be someone who's like, oh, when you start noticing those similarities, you might take that as, oh, me and this person were actually doing the same things around the same time, and we didn't even know it because we weren't in contact. Like, oh, this might truly be my twin flame. Not necessarily. It may just be a lesson. It may be a really deep lesson that spirit is trying to show you, right? But like I said, for each person, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. But for some, that actually is a sign. That actually is a sign that that is your divine counterpart. Especially if you guys are talking about timelines and you find out that, oh, you weren't talking, but you guys were both water fasting and trying out different diets and lifestyles around the same time, even though you weren't in contact at that time. That is actually a clear indication that this is your divine counterpart for some. But you have to know your situation. You have to know your scenario. Anyways, the overall lesson that I'm here to give is that a divine healer needs a divine protector, right? So take your time in making this decision and ultimately choose the one who makes you feel safe, okay? Choose the one who makes you feel protected. Y'all, that is going to be the message for today. That is it for today. I signed up to work night shift tonight, so I actually have to get in. But I love the days that I work night shift because I actually have the opportunity to just show up to work a couple minutes early, sit here, do my recordings, and go ahead and get it out the way. When I'm working day shift, I have way too much going on to actually stop and do these things, and it always slips, and it takes forever for me to take the time to sit down and get it done. So this is why I prefer night shift so much more. But let me go ahead and finish this so I can go ahead and edit it and try to get it uploaded tonight. If not tonight, by tomorrow. But either way, it will be uploaded before New Year's. So happy New Year's, y'all. And make sure that you do a spiritual cleansing going into New Year's. If you live alone and you know, you have the availability, take a spiritual shower at midnight. Take a spiritual shower at midnight so that you go into the new year with clean, fresh energy. Take a shower, speak what you want to come into 2025 and you know, shower. First of all, like shower, cleanse, release everything from 2024 and before that you no longer want. And then once you have released and cleansed of that, I want you to speak what you do want in 2025, right? I'm gonna like start the shower maybe 10 minutes before and cleanse and let go of whatever you're leaving in the past. And then at midnight, begin to speak what you want going forward in the future, right? But anyways, y'all, that's the message for today. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. Bye.